Hey, so today on Tuesday Tip, wanted to talk to you about those pesky weeds. We get calls every now and then, and clients will call us and they'll say, hey, we've got weeds in our yard, and they always want to know the question of, can I handle it myself, or do I need a professional? A couple things to keep in mind when you are trying to make that decision on professional or non-professional and DIY. So there's different products that are out there on the market, especially if you want to do DIY. So you need to go to your local store. You can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, places like that, and you can actually look at the product, and you kind of have to do a little bit of research. So there's some information you need to know. You need to know what kind of turf grass you have, what kind of weeds you have, and you also need to know what time of the year the application is going to be made. Is it a pre-emergent or a post-emergent herbicide? And so when you go to Lowe's and Home Depot, a lot of times you can flip over the bag on the back side of the bag, and the back side of the bag will actually give you that information. It will let you know that this is a fall pre-emergent. So there are different times of the year that you need to be making those DIY applications. One, early in this time of the year is January, so you want to make those applications in January for a pre-emergent herbicide. That pre-emergent herbicide, it's designed to keep that weed under suppression and to keep it from germinating so that it doesn't show up in May and June and July. I know that sounds really weird. Most people say, well, I have weeds in July, but I should treat them in July. Well, actually, you need to treat them before they ever germinate. So we use that fall pre-emergent application. And then in the summertime, you want to use a summer fertilizer. Knowing what kind of turf grass you have will also give you that information. Is it centipede? Centipede only wants 1,000 on percentage of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. 1 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet per year. Zoysias and your Bermudas, they may take a little bit, they may want more and they can feed on more. So you need to know what product that you have, or what turf you have, in order to know exactly what product you need for making it in that particular application. So keep that in mind as you go into the spring and the summer for fertilizers. A lot of times people want to throw fertilizer to centipede lawns. Centipede lawns do not like a high fertilization process. They will turn green, they'll be beautiful, and then a year or two they'll eventually die and turn brown because it's over fertilization. Or you'll get a lot of winter kill because of that over fertilization. In the fall, you want to look at your fall pre-emerge. So right now, being in January, if you have weeds in your yard, that's because those are winter weeds. Those winter weeds started germinating when it started getting cool in the fall. And so we make applications in the fall of a winter pre-emergent herbicide to keep those weeds from germinating through the winter months. And so if that way, when we get to January and February and you're in the winter season here in Georgia, you'll be able to look out at the turf and there won't be any weeds, and that's due to those applications of pre-emerge. So this is kind of a little bit of there's a lot more science that goes behind this process, and so in doing that, this gives you just a little bit of an idea of that. This doesn't even touch your specialty herbicides. Those of us that are contractors, we have our pesticide license. I'm a certified contractor by the state of Georgia. And in having those certifications, we can buy chemicals that are restricted herbicides. Those restricted herbicides allow us to target specific pests that you can't go to Lowe's and Home Depot and buy. So you can't go over to Lowe's and Home Depot and buy some of the products that we get the opportunity to buy. And so that gives that issue. For a homeowner, that's going to give you some issues. For us as contractors, that gives us kind of a special weapon that we're able to use and be able to target a specific pest or a specific insect or a specific disease. And so that is on the DIY side. On the on the professional side, when you hire a company that has all of the science and understands the science behind plants. There's a lot more to fertilization and weed control and the weed control fertilization program than just going out and throwing fertilizer down. You got to know the plants. We have to know the plant. We have to know when it's taking up. We monitor the soil temperatures of when is the right time to make those applications. We're monitoring what chemicals are on the market and what's the best chemical that makes the most impact in controlling the pest or the weed, in this particular case on weed control, but it also makes a very low impact on the environment in which we live. Obviously, we don't want a bunch of chemicals in the ground to cause issues, so what does those chemicals look like? The one thing that we always run into from a DIY person and a professional, a lot of DIYers, what they'll do is they'll say, well, if a little bit works, a lot is better. Right? And so on the professional side, we mix out and we know the calibration of our chemicals, of our chemical rates, of our products. And so we know that this product needs to be down at this rate. This is that rate. We also know what our equipment's putting out and the rate that it's putting it out as well. So those are some of the things that go along that. One of the most important things is we understand the science and we specifically know the weeds that we treat. So if you've got a certain weed, we can target just that weed. And so that gives us the ability. And having our pesticide license, we have that ability to be able to reach into that tool bag and get that specific product to treat that specific weed. So I have a lot of people that tell me all the time, I would prefer to do my own yard, or I would prefer to do my own weed control because it's really not that complicated. If you understand the science behind the chemical and you understand the turf grass, then it's pretty easy. If you don't understand those items, then it can be very difficult and can create some aggravation of, well, I've been putting these products down and it's not working. And it may be because you're putting the wrong product out at the wrong time of the year, or the right product at the wrong time, or a number of combinations of that. So hopefully this is helpful to you. If you want some information on how to DIY it, more than happy to provide that information for you. You can email us at realturfsolutions.com, or if you're also interested in us giving you a chance to take a look at your property, give you some recommendations on your turf grass, on a way to make it look better for the upcoming spring season and summer season, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to come out, take a look at it for you. No cost, no obligation. Check us out at realturfsolutions.com.